The Alliance needs you. I need you. To like and subscribe.
Boom. Welcome back to Mass Effect. There's only one side quest left before I have to do the main story. And it's called Missing Survey Team. And I already know where it was. So I already went there accidentally. And it involves, let's see, Hades Gamma Cluster. A survey team that dropped out of contact, and we have to figure out what happened to them. And you could probably guess and be fairly accurate about what happened. Did I already look at the non-Wells planet I have to go to? Did I already survey the other stuff? Yeah, I think so. Double check the asteroid belt for anything. Because sometimes there is something. Looks like we're good. There was just this planet, also nothing. Then we can just go to the planet we have to go to. Non-Well. Is that the one? No, this isn't even the one, actually. I can show you this. There's nothing to do here, but I can show you this. Hayden and Rex is good. This is a volcanic planet, but with a lot of rich blues in the air, so you don't necessarily get that idea. Right when you spawn, you can see a building right there, but it is abandoned. If I look at the map, there is stuff here to do. What is over there is a warlord's outpost. We don't have the quest to deal with that. That is the... just like I got a quest to save scientists that were walking around through this complex, and they were all addled because of some psychotropic stuff, and we had to defeat a bunch of hostage takers and try to avoid accidentally killing any of those scientists walking around. That's a quest we got because we were maxed out on a Paragon score. The quest on this planet you could get if you max out on your, or get 80% at least, on your Renegade score. League of One medallion. A crate. Judging by the footprints in the ash, the two mercenaries were facing each other over the crate when they died. Both suffered single gunshot wounds and have a rifle close beside them. Take the contents. Matriarch's writings discovered. Prying open the crate, you discover a carefully wrapped, handwritten copy of one of Matriarch Dillanaga's treatises. It is unlikely she penned it herself, but the flowing brushwork and intricate watercolor illustrations clearly show the hand of a master scribe. This must be some kind of movie reference. Deal gone wrong and they both shot each other. And some upgrades, which we don't care about. So I can't do this quest because I don't have a way to get enough Renegade points to unlock it anyway. At really high Paragon, you actually need 90% of your Renegade score to be able to get the quest. So it's not impossible. If you did like a morality points glitch or something, you could do it. And sometimes it's easy to get Renegade points because of just shooting random things to give you Renegade points by doing so. What I will do is play New Game Plus sometime and go back and make sure I get Renegade points just so that I can show off this quest, because it is a really rare quest. Almost nobody gets it. There are videos out there, of course, of showing you what kind of options you have. Cryo explosive, incendiary explosive, kinetic exoskeleton. I'm good with all that. So we're going back into space. Now it is still the Hades Gamma Cluster we need. It's just not Plutus here. It's one of these other ones. No, okay, for sure this is the place. I can double check. There wasn't anything to survey. I may have also done that while trying to figure out where to go for this assignment. Yeah, I got everything here. Trebin is a modest terrestrial world with an atmosphere composed of nitrogen and argon. Its surface is mainly composed of nickel with deposits of silver. Trebin's environment is relatively mild, but the scarcity of water or similar enabling substances has prevented the development of any biosphere. ExoGeni Corp recently performed a test impact of a single water-ice comet into the surface, the first step of a long-term plan to thicken the atmosphere and introduce water to the environment. The survey team is on the surface, monitoring the geological and meteorological effects of the test impact. Most of the water released is still in the form of atmospheric vapor, but thick cloud banks have formed. There is every indication that this arid world will soon see its first rain. The survey team's progress has been hampered by frequent mechanical or computer failures in their GPS satellites. And from what we understand, contact with them has now been lost altogether. And it's up to us to figure out why. It looks very similar to a few planets we've already been to. Nice bright orange. And then on our map here, there's an anomaly up there. I'm pretty sure there is a thresher maw that lives there. Right there is the research base. Another anomaly up there, some debris down there. Yeah, we can already see a marker on the map, which to me is a pretty clear indication that this is a thresher maw nest. And all we have to do to trigger it is to actually go down in there, but we can avoid this one fairly easily just by staying on the edge. And then there is some debris here that we could recover. Turian insignia. Collection we've already completed, but yet there is another one here nonetheless. And then not too far from here is the research base.
I'm on my way.
Now there is actually some kind of extra marker here. Oh, I believe I remember why. There's two markers on the map. One is the research outpost, and over there is a mine shaft.
Where is everybody?
En route.
Where is everybody? Exoskeleton. It seems like a lousy research place to do research. This is just where people sleep, and doesn't look like they have much protection set up. Computer console.
According to these data logs, the survey team unearthed some kind of alien technology.
Could be answers at the excavation site.
I suppose there's nothing else but to go investigate that excavation site. So you'll be familiar with these mines and their layouts. Nothing wrong with them being so similar, but you kind of know where to look. I see a lot of red dots. Oh yeah. Oh. All kinds of husks. Let's see how much damage we could do from here. Oh, getting a little close there, friend. Why is that not hitting him? Oh. Great, we're doing good so far. As long as we knock them down in some way, or lift them up in the air, they can't do their stupid attacks.
Machine cultists. They unearthed some kind of alien technology, and it turns them into mindless fanatics.
Whatever they found, it's long gone now.
Are we sure about that? That it's actually gone? Pistol, shotgun, shotgun. This looks just like the thing the Geth had on Pharaohs that they were worshipping. What we can do here, being mindful of our environment, there are explosives around. They won't go off just from us being near them, but if we accidentally set them off, it could still hurt. There are two rooms in the back here. When we get close, they open up and let a bunch more husks out. See what all we could do in terms of causing damage. That's all good. That knocked him down. Yes. There's one over there. Oh yeah, that's the one that I lifted. Good. Not quite what I was hoping here. Dead. He's still struggling. And then there's just the one over there. Dead. That accounts for all of the ExoGeni survey team. They were converted to cybernetic husks by devices similar to those used by the Geth on Eden Prime. How they came to be buried on a frontier world so far from Geth territory is a mystery. Perimeter clear. We can then actually go investigate those 2 passages. You can see those dragon's teeth. And it makes you wonder if that is what they found down here, or if that's something alongside some artifacts they found. So it's interesting if the dragon's teeth themselves can drive people mad, but otherwise usually it's some other kind of artifact. Sludge canister. Okay, I would say that that's everything that we can do here. Makes you think, why were they down? Well, why were they down here? If they found traces that there could be something hidden here, or something to unearth, they probably would. They probably would not expect whatever they found to then mind control them. And then there's still the other stuff on this planet that was marked that we can go find. Or you get stuck because of a bug. That could also happen. And you have to re-land on the planet. Oh, there's actually enemies supposedly at this crashed probe. Oh yeah, they've got a tank parked here. Hello. Scavengers. There we go. Sorry, fellas, but this thing is mine. And then all the way up north is a final anomaly for us to go find. Which I have no idea what that is, but we'll find out. Ah, this is the one that I've been talking about. I don't know when the last time was I mentioned this, but look at that. There's a bunch of crashed probes. All because of this transmitter tower. Discovery. This device is transmitting tight beam signals into geosynchronous orbit. This disrupts the survey team's GPS satellites, causing them to crash nearby. So now that won't happen again in the future, but at the same time there is no more survey team. That's all there is to do on this planet.
Commander, Caden here. Please like and subscribe.